Everybody, is Felisa, and it is a beautiful, just absolutely gorgeous Sunday afternoon, and I thought that I would make an entry into my car chronicles with a little bit of a twist. So this is an entry into the Menopausal mess car chronicles. And I'm kind of titling it that because any of my ladies who are out there who have gone through menopause, or maybe pre-menopausal or perimenopausal, hopefully you'll be able to relate to this. And I do think that I'll be coming periodically and just sharing my journey through this stage of my life, and hopefully I'll go through it with some grace and keep my sanity intact. But I wanted to talk about some of the things that I've been experiencing, because I think it's important for us as women to acknowledge that these are the things that we're going through, and some of the things that we're experiencing, and accept it for what it is, but have some support around it. My God. So I did a vlog the other day that I haven't uploaded. Once I upload it, this vlog will probably make a little bit more sense, or what I'm saying will hopefully make some sense. So make sure you watch that one first before you watch this one. But I probably, for the last 6 months for sure, maybe even the last year, I've been really struggling, just like with my emotional self, and just with my physical self, and not being pleased and satisfied. And it's I think it's part typical woman stuff. We never are slim enough. Our stomachs are never flat enough. No matter how many children we've born, we always look and compare ourselves to other people and the way that our clothes fit and all those kinds of things. I think that's typical, especially given our image conscious society. And our standard of beauty is still quite European, and although I don't ascribe to that standard of beauty, I do know that I'm judged by it, and so sometimes I'm off my square when it comes to that. However, I think that I've been able to maintain a pretty decent healthy self-esteem and self-awareness, and being pleased with who I am, except for this last year, child. Like, I've gained weight, and I told y'all in another vlog that I was diagnosed with pre-diabetes, and it's just been really difficult the older that I've gotten to lose weight. And of course, we all know that that's one of the symptoms and signs of premenopause, to hold on to a lot of weight, especially in the midsection. And I've never been one to carry extra weight in my stomach. It's always been my behind and my hips, child. So that's completely new, and I'm like, what the crap is this? Oh my God, I gotta do something. And so you get really anxious about that. But like, I had to really push pause the other day and acknowledge that, number one, I'm making myself crazy, and the stress is just beyond manageable. So I wanted to come, and I wanted to do this vlog to really bring some perspective and some balance to other women who may be experiencing some of the things that I'm experiencing, and who are in that 49, 50, maybe 51, 52 age range, or in that demographic that are experiencing this, and tell you that it's okay, sis. Like, seriously, it is. There's nothing wrong with you. There are things that are going on in your body that you cannot control. That's another issue that I have. I'm a control freak, and how dare my body be doing all this foolishness and doing the complete and absolute most when I did not ask it to. I'm just upset with her right now. But that's the way that things work, and I have to accept that. So the first thing that I want to talk about is, like I said, the obvious weight gain. Now, I have a sweet tooth. Now, I'm not going to just sit up and pretend like I woke up and I was 20 pounds heavier. No, I do recognize that my metabolism is not as fast as it used to be. I recognize that my metabolism is not as it doesn't kick in as strongly as it used to, and so I tend to gain weight a lot faster, and that is definitely one of the signs and symptoms of premenopause, especially with weight gain around the middle. The crazy thing about that, though, is that if you are premenopausal and you are in a high stress environment, you have a lot of stress, which I tend to have both in my personal life and in my professional life. That's even worse, because your body releases something called cortisol, and that is regulated by your adrenal gland, and it causes you to have is the stress hormone, and so it causes you to release all this abundance of the stress hormone, and you retain weight around the middle, and tend to be bloated and all those kinds of things. And so Of course, the obvious solution to that is to try and reduce your stress. Exercise is one great way of reducing stress, and just even being able to cleanse your mind and things like that. One of the other things that I'm really interested in getting into a lot more is yoga. Not necessarily for the physical benefits, although there's a lot of data that supports that it has great physical benefits and improving flexibility and strength and all of those kinds of things. I really want to do it for the mental component, just to be able to relax and let go, because my meditation time, child, is trash, because I cannot focus on nothing. Like, in my head, I have made 12 grocery lists. I've picked up, some child from some random event. I've made sure that the laundry is done, the house is clean. I've planned out meals in my head of what I'm gonna, eat. I've planned outfits, and this is like all within the first 15 minutes. So my mind is constantly on ready, set, go, and I need to learn how to reduce that, because part of the stress that is self-imposed, of course, is that your mind never shuts off, even when you lay down. Like, that is unfortunately how I'm wired. I don't just concentrate on the problem before me or the issue before me or whatever it is. I've gone 12 paces ahead and solved all the world's problems. So I need to really stop that. Then number 2, I am absent-minded like a mug. Now, this is the crazy thing. So I decided a long time ago that this had to be some kind of form of dementia. I am terrified of dementia and Alzheimer's. I've watched my grandmother and my grandfather, have touches of it. My father developed dementia, early onset dementia, when he was about 60 years old. And I'm like, Lord, no, please. So every, lapse in memory or forgetfulness, like, I'm automatically like, oh no, which causes stress. So, memory lapses, y'all, honestly, for my moms out there, you would think of it as pregnancy brain, where you're just really forgetful. Now, here's the other thing about that. If you're highly stressed and, you got a lot of balls in the air and you got a lot of things that you're responsible for, it is almost impossible not to drop one. It's almost impossible not to forget or, not to be aware of something. I have always prided myself on not having to rely on my calendar, or at least not that much. At work, yeah, because people throw meetings on my calendar in a minute and I may not be aware of it, so I don't even count that stuff. But like, appointments, I hardly ever write down appointments. I hardly ever write down, things that I have to do or things that I've committed to, because I tend to remember. It is very, very rare that I forget. But things like, what the heck did I put my cell phone? Or, where is this bag? Or, things like that. Like, just honestly forgetting and being forgetful, that has just been an irritant to me, because normally that's not me. But the thing that I've noticed is that in those moments that I've forgotten where I've placed something, or I've forgotten, something that I felt like it was important, has been right during a moment where I was thinking about something else, that I wasn't fully conscious about what I was doing or where I was placing objects, and not committing that to memory. Now, I'm aware of that. And so, the only thing that I can say about that is that you have to be in the moment. A lot of times we kind of operate on rote. We're just on automatic. Like, if you've ever, and I do this often too, I get in the car, I zone out. I'm on my way to work. Ooh, that was a big bump. But I'm on my way to work or wherever it is that I'm going. It's almost like I got there just by magic. Like, I have literally had times where I have pulled up in the parking lot in my office and did not remember a single thing about the car ride in, because my mind has been so engaged in other stuff. And that multitasking in terms of like, oh my gosh, did I do this? Did I do that? Am I doing this? Am I doing that? Those kinds of things. Am I on time for this? Did I remember to do that? And so I'm so consumed with all of that during the car ride until, child, I couldn't tell you how I got there. And that's sometimes scary to me. Like, Jesus Christ, okay, I hope I obeyed all laws and, performed all traffic stops and, made sure that I was being safe, because this is not good. This is not good at all. But during those times where I've misplaced things, or I can't remember where I put things, or, I can't remember if I completed a certain task or what have you, it's been those times where I have really been completely consumed by something else and I'm just not fully in the moment. And then the last thing that I just want to say about, this premenopausal thing is, I'll go into more detail in my later vlogs, especially about those symptoms that I'm experiencing and how I'm managing them, because I think that that's important. But, I just want to say that obviously, for obvious reasons, the female dynamic is very complex and very different from woman to woman. Our reproductive health, number one, you tend to start your cycle around the same time that your mother started her cycle, and you tend to end your cycle right around, around the age that your mother experienced menopause. That's why it's so important that if you can, you understand the reproductive history of your family, so that you can kind of have a good gauge. I started my cycle when I was 11 years old. My mother was 10. My mother didn't fully end menopause until she was really in her 60s, which, comparatively speaking, because I'm 49, I have quite a ways to go. But that's the thing about menopause. You can fully be in these symptoms for years. 4 years. I've got a good friend. I love her dearly. She's 10 years older than I am. And she has been flashing, hot flashes. She's been flashing for, I want to say, a good 8 years now. Like, I'm over it for her. I'm not even playing. Like, I'm like, girl, like, what I feel so bad for her, because it's sudden onset, and it comes on just out of the blue, and, she's not prepared for it. And she copes very well, but I know she's completely over it. Like I said, I'm over it for her. So, just know that the length of time that you may be going through these things, it's not set in stone. It's really not. And so, even though you can get a gauge from your mom, that even that is not 100%, but you want to talk to her about her symptoms and her experiences, and those things that she may have gone through and those things that she may have endured. It's not to say that you'll experience those same things. I can't remember my mother ever complaining about a hot flash, which, if that's the case, I will be so excited, like yay. Because, like I said, my girlfriend, that doesn't seem like, I don't feel like I want to do that at all. But, just to be aware of the symptoms and to be aware of the types of things that may affect you as time goes on. But I'm gonna take this out. But I'm gonna certainly keep y'all apprised, and just really kind of want to engage around that, and engage around what these symptoms look like and how we can manage it, and what kind of support we can build around it, because I do think that there's a certain time and a certain element to all of this where you just feel completely helpless, and you feel like out of control, like you're spinning. And I think that that's unfortunate for a lot of us, and especially when we're surrounded by people who just may not understand and, don't get it. So it's important that we continue to have the lines open for communication, that we recognize that we're not crazy, that this is truly a physical kind of thing that we're enduring, and, it's okay. We'll get through it. So I'm Felisa. I hope that y'all enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Enjoy the rest, or not your Saturday. See? The rest of your Sunday, and y'all be easy, and I'll catch y'all later. Bye.